They have to be in a roster. Still in first, though.
Thanks, Irene.
Thanks, Irene.
We had to wait to click that record because Bill is putting us to sleep with his fantasy baseball talk that I'm sure you're in first place, right?
Yeah. Yep.
The beer boners.
Beer boners always coming in hot, baby.
Congratulations. Late out of work today there, Bill?
Yep. Sorry for my absence.
It's okay.
You weren't absent. You were here.
Tough cage work?
No cage work.
That's good. It wasn't grooming day?
No,
Sundays are grooming day. How dare you ever forget that?
Sundays and Wednesdays.
Wednesdays, twice a week. She grows hair back that fast.
Well, technically, it's today. Technically, wow. Wednesday is today.
So
we're recording Tuesday night.
As soon as we get rid of this show, I'm going right over. Muff diving for dinner.
You did just say you were hungry.
He did.
Did, yeah.
Might need seconds.
I like how you changed venues once again.
I did.
What's the thought process in that?
Yeah, what is your idea? Like you just
I just didn't have the table set up, so I just set up upstairs when I switched my station.
I actually don't really care about that. What I do care about though is our Tuesday show that we recorded on Sunday completely went off the fucking rails because you drank an entire bottle of Hendrix within the 45 minutes that we recorded. Can you just let us know how that all worked out okay, obviously?
Oh yeah, got in the car, drove.
We'll beep that.
When you said that, when you said that text message, I'm like, there's no fucking way you actually did that.
I like that she knew how to identify exactly what you were drinking.
When you walk through the front door and go, "What's up, bitch tits?" That's probably how she knew.
You smell like a pine tree.
How many Hendrix did you have tonight? I don't know, 2.
He falls over.
Dozen.
Welcome to the Simple Minds Sports Show, Wednesday edition, June 23rd. Welcome to the show. Nothing special today in my calendar. Tomorrow's the full moon.
Isn't it a pink moon or something, or strawberry moon?
That'll be a special day for grooming day. Full moon.
Woo! Is that a rhino?
Sound does a rhino make? If you want to find that out, head on down to White Birch Brewing, Nashua, New Hampshire. Ray, address, please.
460 Amherst Street.
The rhinos are always roaming down in White Birch. Get yourself something a lot more interesting. Ray is time traveling tonight. We like
Rich,
it.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
How many times have you watched Back to the Future on Netflix?
Too many times.
How many times have you waited to hear that? How many times have you waited to say that dumb line in this show?
Yeah. What time is it? It's 8:08. 12.
He's
hours.
watching the movie. It's coming. His kids roll with, shut the fuck up. Where we're going, we don't need roads. What can I help you with, baby? If you want to get that excited about something, head on down to White Birch Brewing. They got the best craft beers in New Hampshire. Check out their social media sites. They're always posting fun rainbow style flights. They got terrific pints. Obviously, you can get it in cans. You can get it in cans at your local beer store. If you do, wherever you get it, tell them the Simple Minds boys sent you. White Birch Brewing. I thought we'd start talking baseball. Thought we'd give Billy Baseball a chance. This is clearly based on our last show, and depending on, I didn't know what type of mood or where he was going to be mentally. So I figured we'd start with what he could coherently discuss at the beginning and see where we got from there. Red Sox are currently playing versus Wander Franco and the Rays, the number 1 prospect in baseball. Rays have been struggling lately. Do you think the Red Sox actually picked up the lead? They're in first place in the AL East yet again by half a game. Do you think that they brought up Franco because they've lost 6 in a row? Or do you think that this was the time that they had in mind? Or where do you think the Rays are at? And give me your thought on this. Important, by the way, very important series for the Red Sox here.
Yeah, I think the reason they brought him up is to manipulate service time. You wait till mid-June to do it. You get an extra year out of him, I believe. Of service time. Tampa's notorious for doing that. I thought when they were traded Willie Adams that, he was coming up then. I texted a buddy and he's like, no, mid-June. So, it makes sense. Yeah, you're almost halfway. You're 72 games in the season. You got 90 games left. You're 17-8 against the AL East right now. combine the Red Sox, that means you have about half your games out of those 90 against the AL East. And this is, I don't think you're playing great outside of your division. You've seen Houston destroy you a couple series now. That's a big series. Even the White Sox, I mean, you were 2-2 against them, but they're probably the number one team in the American League right now. So, I mean, you got to beat up. You got to, you can't throw these series against your AL East because you got to beat up. Right now, you're a playoff team. You're fighting Tampa, who's a playoff team. I know they lost 6 in a row, but I mean, they're still there. And if the hype is real on Franco, I mean, that's a huge jump to that offense. He's the 5-tool player. They started him at third Tuesday or tonight as we record this. He's already got a run. He's batting second. I mean, you've seen his success with Tatis, Machado, Trout, Bryce Harper, all these young kids coming basically straight out of high school. I know he wasn't out of high. So they're tough. You got to beat up on these teams. You can't throw series away. I mean, right now you're almost at the midpoint of the season, and these are the series you have to win. You can't piss away, losing 2 games at Kansas City. I'm sorry. I get they're a decent team, but still that's a team you need to beat. I know you went 3-2 on the 5-game road trip, but still, this is an important series.
I got to say though, in their last, what did I have down there? Right. In their last 17 games, they're 11-6. Their pitching has sucked, but their hitting has remained consistent. You got a large enough sample size to say this is what the Red Sox are. Yep. They got piss poor, although, we are in the sticky icky, times right now. Monday was the first day that umpires were checking pitchers. Frisking, basically. I just got an update. I don't know if you guys did that. Max Scherzer was upset with the frisking today.
Did you see DeGrom last night? They made him basically pull his pants down.
We'll get to DeGrom. We'll handle that spectacularly like he's handling everything this year. My greater point is the Red Sox are what they are. They continue to battle. They continue to win. That Royals series was probably the first series since they got swept by the Orioles to start the season that they pissed one away, that they didn't salvage it. And this is what they're going to be. They're going to beat up on bad teams, and they're going to probably split against good teams. I agree with you. If you keep going up against your division rivals here in 3-game sets, you can't drop 2 of them. Obviously, that's just math. But another thing, Rich, I'm at a point in the season where I give the Red Sox a chance to win basically every game that they're in, because I think that's the type of team they're in. And I think that's the state baseball's in. The pitching is absolutely wild. Specifically to the Rays, you got Glasnow still crying in the fucking dugout. He was a huge part of that team. I know that they still got young talent, good young talent, but we said it. They're going to come back down to earth. Everybody's come back down to earth, Ray.
No, what sucks with the Red Sox too is that you have to watch every game because they never quit. Unlike years past that they would just fucking turtle and just call it a day. This team fucking fights till the 9th inning, till the final out, and that's what sucks. That you have to watch this shit and just be like, God damn it!
That's what sucks. No, it's what's good, but from a viewer perspective on the grander scheme, if it's
you're invested
4 hours, you have to watch.
You're like, God damn it!
At least the last hour. In either way, think about that. Like, watch the last hour. You've missed 3 hours.
Yeah. So it's still like
it's insane.
I think they do. Oh, that.
Let me give you some bright spots. So I'll start with the bad spot. Arroyo, who had been playing really well for you in the leadoff spot, had a couple big clutch hits in the last week or so. He's dealing with the bone bruise in the shin after a collision with Kike Hernandez, who had himself a decent weekend over the weekend. That plays. Couple other positive things coming up. You got Tanner Houck. Tanner Houck is pitching in Worcester. Looks good. I'm convinced they're going to a 6-man rotation after this All-Star break. You got Chris Sale, who's going to be pitching up in Portland next week, reportedly. Connor Siebold is down in Worcester, that they wanted to get him some time coming up. I just think that with everything going on in this pitching rotation and in this staff, and you got these young kids down there, I don't see how they don't give some of these guys some rest, quote unquote, and let them figure out their shit. Nick Pivetta has a 5.97 ERA over the last 6 starts after starting the year with a 3.16 ERA in 8 starts. Tell me that they weren't cheating. They got to figure out their shit. So I fully expect them to bring some fresh blood onto that pitching staff come the All-Star break or right around that time, which is right around the corner.
Yeah, you might not even have to go to a 6-man rotation because you can just DL Erod. I mean, it seems like it's the most obvious choice. He's been pitching like shit. I think his ERA is hovering around 7 right now. Shut him down, figure out his shit. You can make up something. He pulled a dick muscle fucking his old lady. Boom, done. something fucking stupid. It just shut him down. Then you get Hawk up there, and I think you might not. You'll probably start seeing him stretch Whitlock out a little bit too. I mean, they envision him as a starter long term, so you may see him kind of maybe start in the.
Well, hey, none of these guys are going past 4 innings anyway, so might as well throw Whitlock in there for 4, right? Yeah, no.
Do you think Erod goes more than 4 innings tonight?
Nope.
Nope. He's already gonna have 2 runs in the first inning. So
it's tied 2-2 right now.
You have to DL Erod. It's time. You got to put him down. You got to set him down. You got to rest that dick muscle and make sure that he has something in the tank. Like, it's not like you don't need it. I don't want to get into the trade deadline and whether the Red Sox are buyers and who's out there yet. We're a little bit far away. I think, look, you're in the last week of June. We said if you got through June 500, you're in good shape. They're ahead of pace. Ahead of pace. And they got a big series with the Yankees after the Rays series. So if you can hold water, if you can tread water through these next 2 series, I think you're going to be in good shape. And then you still have to go take care of business against the shit teams. You have to take care of business against the bad teams in the AL, which they've done most of the season. So, look, I'm still bullish on this team. I think that they can still go out there and produce as long as injuries don't hit their big part of the lineup. And yeah, I expect them and want them to give these young arms a chance because it doesn't matter at this point, the way that their staff is pitching. Throw fucking anybody out there. They're going to go 4 innings and give up 4 and then hand it over to the bullpen. So give me Hawk. I like Hawk. And give me Seabold. He looked pretty fucking good in spring training, man. Maybe it was the tack, but he had some spin.
He's coming off an injury too. So, I mean, he got a kind of a late start. He went on the DL kind of early down there. But yeah, I mean, I had the Red Sox, you guys said 500. I wanted them, 7 or 8 games over 500. I kind of be a believer in the Red Sox. I mean, you're seeing it. They're there.
We were just saying about June, not the whole.
No, I said it June. Like I've been saying up until now, they're 82, 83 win team. So I mean, if they make it through this stretch, 7, 8 games over 500, even 6, I'll give them 6 games over 500. Then I'll back off my 82 games, 83. They closer to 90. That they're a legit buyer at the trade deadline right now.
They should be.
That's a month away. So
they should be in a responsible way. They're not going to. Hyman Bloom is not going to give up any prospects. He's just not.
Well, they don't have anyone to give.
He's going to go buy a bad contract is what he's going to do, and hopefully it works out. Is my expectation. But let's wait to get to that. I want to give you the Daubach watch, which we have not got to in a while. Guy's been on a little bit of a tear. A little bit of a tear. 13 for 34, hitting 382, 3 home runs, 2 triples, 1 double. Do you see how he's swinging? Do you see how far he's choking up in that bat?
Yeah,
it's like 3 inches up the bat, like shortened his swing like you read about.
Hey, just think, you get rid of the sticky icky. All of a sudden.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, shit.
All of a sudden.
That I did not think of that either.
I didn't even
Bobby
think about
D
that.
coming around. He's swinging a good bat. You need a number 9 hole. I mean, you had nothing, 0 production, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, I mean, it's nice. I don't expect it to last. He strikes out or he hits a home run. Well, he's got a couple triples, so almost hits a home run.
What's his average now?
Like 2. I don't even know.
He's above the Mendoza line, so
yeah,
that's fine.
Like 2-0.
Yeah, it's not great, but
if he hit 35 to 40 home runs, I don't give a shit what he bats. But he's not.
He's not going to do that. Yeah,
he'll never fucking do that.
He won't. But he's what they got. All right, let's talk about the Monday enforcing the sticky rule. DeGrom got the attention. They frisked him up and down, and he didn't say a word. He asked if he wanted him to take his belt off. He handled it like a pro, and then he went out there and fucking dominated and continue. Is it time to start talking about DeGrom? Like, do we have to start talking about him in the Pedro conversation with the year that he's having, or is he cheating?
Well, didn't he pitch 3 100-mile fastballs and then they checked him?
No, it was after the inning, but yeah, to Acuna, he went like 101, 100, 101 or something ridiculous.
Let me give you the shit that he's got going on. 12 straight games with 1 run or fewer. That breaks Bob Gibson's record from 1968. He's got 30 consecutive scoreless innings. He has a .5 ERA, .51 WHIP, the lowest since 1901.
Bill?
He has 117 strikeouts to 27.
You're missing the best part.
Go ahead.
The best part. You know how many runs he's given up all year?
No, I don't have that in front of me.
Like 4 or 5. You know how many RBIs he has this year? 6.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He's 33. Is he cheating, or is he this good?
He's this good. You saw it early. I think he's a Tommy John guy. I think
he's had a couple injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, he's had.
And he had some scares. He's already had some scares this year. I mean, he threw 101.
He's disgusting. He's the best pitcher in all of baseball. And 100, what'd you say, 127 strikeouts or 117?
117 before the All-Star break to 27 hits.
It's disgusting. This is Pedro in his prime. I would.
It sucks that he plays for the Mets. If he played for any like meaningful organization, he'd be a superstar.
I mean, look at his run. He won back-to-back Cy Youngs on real bad Mets teams. Like he's been this good for a long time. His ERA. What was his ERA last year? Like 1.8. And the year before that, when he won a Cy Young, was right around 2. Like he's disgusting. It would be nice to see him kind of pitch in the AL.
Yeah.
I'd like that, but he's
absolutely filthy.
He's Pedro-esque right now. I'm not putting him. Pedro's one of a kind, but he's up there.
Well, it's because he plays for the Mets, right? Like Pedro had, he obviously the World Series was at the end of his run, but he had playoff performances that he had the 99 coming out of the bullpen. He had good playoff performances after that. He had the All-Star game that he struck out. What was it? 3 of the first 4 or 4 to 5, 6?
5 out of 6, and then he went on the DL for like 2 months.
Doesn't matter. No one remembers the DL stint. They just remember him in
Phil
Fenway
does.
striking fucking people out. That was part of his legacy. The part is he has an aura. He has a legacy around him. DeGrom is stuck in the graveyard that is Mets baseball, and he's never leaving. Or if he does, he's not going to leave when he's this good. Like he's just, unfortunately, going to be one of these guys, one of the best pitchers of his era that not a lot of people will probably ever.
Fortunately,
remember.
his bankroll is going to be better than all of ours and our grandkids and our kids fucking combined too.
Well, that's
he's on a nice deal.
Yeah.
Switching gears, this should be fun. NBA. The Philadelphia 76ers lost Game 7 to Trae Young and the Hawks, the 5th seed Hawks, at home. Doc Rivers yet again blows it. Ben Simmons, I don't have it in front of me. I meant to look it up. I don't know if Ray, if you have it in front of your bill. That stat line from Ben Simmons' fourth quarters.
Oh yeah,
I can give it to you. I can give it to you. Yeah,
he was what? 2 for 2,
1 for 1
for 1, and 0 for 0.
Didn't shoot the ball in the fourth quarter for 5 straight games.
That's fucking nuts. And you're a max
100%
fucking player.
In the fourth quarter. What are you talking about? 100% in the fourth quarter.
It just makes me laugh. And it's not like I've been really hard on Embiid because I think he's been a dog and underachieving and doesn't play the right way as a 7-footer in this NBA and everything about it. But he played okay. He was good. He put up numbers.
Didn't Trae Young
Ben
go 5
Simmons
for 13?
was so. Yeah, he was not good. He had big buckets and late in the fourth, though. He had 2 big buckets late in the fourth.
I didn't watch a second of it.
That Ginger, I watched the fourth quarter. That Ginger Herder, who the Celtics have a shot at, actually, he was lighting them up. It was so terrific to watch. And then right there with a chance to tie the game, Ben Simmons made a move, could have dunked it on Trae Young, passed it to his Tybalt, who got fouled and missed
wide open.
Dude, you saw the
wide open.
You saw Embiid throw his hands like at his hips, like clearly frustrated.
He's gone.
Then after the game, he was like,
Simmons is gone, dude.
I think if we had made an open shot and said we get 1 free throw, that pretty much lost us the game. That's it. One of those has got a buddy of mine sent me a text today that I guess they're going to make him shoot right-handed now, and they're going to completely and utterly start from scratch because to get
with Ben Simmons.
Yeah, to get all the if he's a lefty, right? So they're going to switch.
He's right. Oh, he shoots lefty, but he's a righty. He's a righty person.
They're going to make him shoot with his right hand to get all the bad habits out of the left hand. So my buddy was like, I don't think they're going to trade him now. He's got to go. It's either him or Embiid. And if Embiid's up, the Celtics need to go for him. I don't give a shit.
He's going. I think he's going his rookie. Or no, it's not his rookie deal, but he's up for max money, like a super max deal.
They will not.
He'll win out.
I don't care. All right. I don't care what the Sixers do, but I do care how it affects the Celtics. I don't want to move on from the fact that Doc Rivers lost another series in which he was favored. He wouldn't have a 3-1 lead like he has twice in the past, but
3 times.
Doc Rivers
3 times. Put some respect on his name.
Sorry, 3 times.
3 times.
He lost with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan in their prime. He lost with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in their prime. He lost with now this
Paul
Sixers,
Pierce, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett. Don't forget
Pierce.
they lost in 2010 and they lost to the Magic, which I know the Magic went to the finals with Dwight Howard, but I mean, dude, they should have probably won that series too. So I mean, you're talking 09 and 2010 with the Celtics, and then he fucking jumped shit because he didn't want to be in a rebuild.
Yeah,
Overrated.
he
He's
needs to get
overrated.
burnt for the rebuild. I don't burn him for Game 7 against the Lakers. I mean,
Doesn't matter.
not a fucking world peace. But
you
either
still
way,
lost.
since he left the Celtics and Kevin Garnett, he has drastically underachieved. And this is just yet another notch in that belt. And yeah, he needs to be, when Doc Rivers is spoken about, you need to talk about underachieving as a coach or not. And Bill, you sent this then tirade from Josh Smith, was it?
Oh, yo,
that
Chapter
baby
one.
could
lot of
not,
N-bombs.
that
Chapter
cannot
one.
be repeated on these airways.
A lot of N-bombs on that.
Basically
Yeah, dude.
saying though, Doc Rivers doesn't know how to coach and doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
And,
Did you-
and that's
did
why
you
his
see-
wife almost left him.
Yeah, that was a
Where did
that
come
came out of
That was out of left.
field.
Yeah, that was like, whoa.
No
now we're
wonder
bringing the
why
wife
your
into
wife
it.
almost left you. You don't know how to coach a basketball team. N-word.
I thought Bill was writing his fucking shit on that after that. Like, damn. But did you see the quote they had about the 2008 Celtics when they won it all? Like, they should have better respect for him because Doc Rivers was the coach. He's the biggest choke artist of all time. That this should be a greater team that we all salute and be like, holy shit, they're actually way better than we thought
I
they were.
can see Paul
That
Pierce
team
getting
was
behind
fucking
that
loaded,
sentiment.
though. Yeah, oh yeah.
Let's
yeah.
do
Did
it.
he-
Blow
did he
off a
break-
hooker's
oh,
ass
he-
saying that.
He just started a weed business in Mass.
Yep.
Or he just invested in one, probably. No, he probably didn't.
That's his
he probably
big
has nothing to
moves.
do with it. But
That's
no,
his
he's
big
getting.
moves.
He's a big weed guy. He's probably like
Oh, I
laughing
mean, he
his
got
ass
fired.
off. He's been laughing his ass off since he got fired by ESPN, and now Doc Rivers is getting run through the mud, being like, "I'm Paul Pierce. I'm better than Doc Rivers. He sucked. That was us."
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Doc in the next year or two go back to like calling games. You know, Hubie Brown up there, where's ESPN? He's 85.
Philly ain't gonna fire him.
He might walk away. I mean, at this point, I mean, if you're getting all the criticism, you're run down. You can't fucking.
He has a
judge the
scapegoat in
games.
Ben Simmons. He can say Ben Simmons lost me that series. He's not gonna leave Philly. He's gonna rebuild. He's gonna retool. And Embiid's gonna lure some guys. Lure some guys, some players onto this team, and they're gonna do a complete rebuild. And then if that doesn't work, then I can see him leaving. But he ain't going anytime soon.
Good
Simmons
segue.
got-
Hold on, Bill. If they trade Ben Simmons, do you want him on the Celtics?
No.
If he was a pass and just defend guy, yes, but that contract, no. So no, that contract's. I mean, you guys told me. Ugh.
We
You
just
know,
got rid of that max deal that we didn't want. Now,
But I mean,
yeah,
But I'll tell you this one thing. I mean, he's a first team all defender. I think he was first team last year. You know, if you
he's an
put him
all
on-
NBA player.
if you put him on a team with, you know, solid wings, which the Celtics have two of the, you know, best wings in the game right now, you know, and you take the pressure on him to not be a star with Tatum, and we've been saying it, Rich, like a Rondo type. You know, he's a better Rondo type, and he's an all NBA player. But that contract scares me, and especially if you keep fucking with that shot. But I mean, that's the type of player the Celtics need. They don't need a Kemba Walker as a point guard. If you had a fucking guy that could just pass and defend, this team could be going, you know.
That's right. What you said is right. They need that type of player. I believe that too. Ben Simmons is not that type of player. Ben Simmons is the most overrated player in the NBA. He is not better than Rondo. Rajon Rondo will be a better player at the end of Ben Simmons' career than Ben Simmons ever was. Ben Simmons has been hyped up and overrated his entire season. He got Rookie of the Year his second year in the NBA.
So
Think
did Blake
about that.
Griffin, though, didn't he?
I don't remember.
That's neither here nor there, Bill.
My point is, stop blowing up my spot when I'm shitting on Ben Simmons. You can't forget about the contract. The contract is a non-starter. You can't have a guy who's your star. He can't play the fourth quarter.
No.
He literally can't shoot. Anyone who wants to compare him to Rajon Rondo and the Celtics winning in 2008 with Rondo who couldn't shoot, go look at Rondo in the playoffs.
He was a
That dude's
monster.
They
dropped
call him
44.
playoff
He's
Rondo
dropped
for a
40. He's
reason.
dropped 30 in guys' heads. He's hitting big threes. He hits daggers. He can hit layups. When he has an open dunk, he dunks it on people's heads. Dwayne Wade snapped that guy's arm because he was afraid of him scoring on him, and he still put up fucking numbers. Do not put Ben Simmons bum ass in the same conversation as playoff Rondo. He is a
Sorry.
How
Rondo
dare
is-
you.
no. You're agreeing. You're playoff Rondo.
Rondo's a borderline Hall of
nothing
Famer
about-
for
I
what
s-
he's done in the fucking playoffs.
Oh, you take that back. You take that back right now.
Rondo gets disrespected around here way too much because he's an asshole. Ben Simmons is a
Dude,
putz, and he's also a mental fucking midget. He can't handle it. He can't handle it. Keep him away. We have too many soft guys on this team already. Keep him away from the Boston Celtics. No way. No. Unless it's
Give
for
me
Marcus
Embiid.
Smart.
I'll trade
Bucks
two
and six.
goldfish. I'll trade two goldfish for Marcus Smart.
Well, that makes sense. Dr. Big Mac.
Thank you.
Bucks in 6.
Nope.
Bucks in
taking the-
5.
Nope. Taking the Atlanta Trey Youngs.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wow.
I like Bucks in S6.
We were
I
just
think
talking
this
about
is-
choke artists. Who
I
the
think
fuck
this-
is the biggest choke artist in the NBA now left in the playoffs? That would be Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Paul George.
No.
P.
Why?
I'm
Why?
taking the Bucks. I think they got over a hurdle. I think they got over a hurdle with this Nets team. I think they're riding high. I think Drew Holiday has a big piece of that. Chris Middleton never gets talked about, but he dropped 48 in that game 7, by the way, and the game-winning shot, by the way.
Why would they
So,
talk about that?
He's a Celtics killer too.
Game 7, he was a Nets killer. Real quick, the
never,
lottery
baby.
is tonight. Do we have a first pick, Ray?
No, it's not even started yet.
Oh,
I've been watching.
well, what do you know? The NBA is dragging this fucking thing out. Rockets have the best shot at 14%, then Pistons, Magic, Thunder, Warriors at 14 have a 0.5% chance at the first. I just think if the Rockets don't get the first overall pick, what a disaster.
Yeah,
What an
you know
absolute
why?
disaster.
So if they fall to like 4 or 5, OKC is gonna fucking pick swap with them.
Yeah, we were on a little business meeting before you got on with the undrafted boys, and that's what the big OKC fan. That's what he was hoping for.
I'll tell you what, though, with all
He's
these
like, I don't
picks-
want number 1 pick. He's like, I'll take fucking 3, and we'll just switch with the Rockets, and we'll be fine.
I'll tell you this: if OKC manages to fall out of the top 5 or doesn't get a couple good picks here in the upcoming years with everything that they've done with these draft picks, they're fucked too. If you just got 17 picks in the teens and 20s, good luck to you. So it'll be interesting to see what lands there. I was going to talk about the Olympics, but CP3 opted out. I thought he opted in. Harden's in, Durant's in. You got a bunch of veterans. Do you think it
Tatum.
has? Well, I know where I'm going with this. If you read the email, Bill, would you think this has
Yeah.
any effect on Jason
Reading.
Tatum and the Celtics
I did read the
in the
email, you
upcoming
prick.
years? You got
2000
Bradley Beal, who is Jason Tatum's babysitter, who is up next year, who we all think Brad Stevens is positioning himself to make an offer on. Do you think these two guys can go to one of these veterans and go, the Celtics is the place to be. This is where we're going to try and go.
No.
2008. That's what LeBron did. This is the perfect time to do it. You're gonna be with these guys for almost a month. Like, might as well start recruiting.
No,
You got a max spot coming up. Fucking 2022. Come here. We'll win a championship. Let's make this a dynasty right now.
no, they're going to recruit Jason Tatum. If you don't start making moves, I think that's the biggest thing we should be afraid of is people recruiting him to go.
I'm
That's the
definitely
big thing.
afraid of that, but he's signed for 5 years at max money. They're not
Yeah,
going
but what if he starts demanding a trade?
he
I mean, it
can't
could
this
happen.
early. He can't this early.
He's locked up for 5 years.
He's with Boston at least 3 more years, and then he can force his way out with 2 or 1 year left in his contract. And if you get Bradley Beal in the meantime next year, and you got 2 years with Tatum and Beal on the same team, you have to
He's
have
the
to
only
start looking
logical
at it that
choice
way.
though is Bradley Beal. I don't think.
Yes,
anyone-
because of Tatum, because
Yeah,
he wants
exactly.
his babysitter. Literally, he
And it
wants his
sounds like
babysitter on his team.
sounds like they've got their coach too, a Duco,
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm
Yeah.
for it.
And
I'm
I think
for
it sounds like Tatum and Brown are pretty happy
Stoked about it,
too. So I mean,
Well, they
it
coached
sounds-
him in the Worlds last year. Aduko, whatever his name is, coached. You had Kemba and Brown and Tatum and Smart on
Smart, yeah.
on that U.S. team. So yeah, they have experience with him. He's been with the Nets, so I'm sure Tatum has texted Kyrie and got his fucking opinion.
No, he partied with them after the Nets blew us out.
Right.
Jason, the world's flat. Thanksgiving is not a holiday. And what is government?
And suck my dick. Is that
you
what he
guys,
said, or
are you
fuck
guys Olympic? Are you guys Olympic watchers?
Yep.
I knew Ray would be. Bill, are you a like avid Olympic watcher?
No, not really. I prefer the winter more just for hockey, and I like the snowboarding and stuff. But the summer, I don't give a shit about running and all that track and field stuff. I'll
With
catch
all the running you do, I'm surprised.
I do more walking and bicycling, Raymond.
Bicycling. Tokyo's allowing 10,000 fans in the stands, by the way. Their residents are pissed. They have a ton of fucking COVID in Tokyo. They don't give a shit. They
Nope.
don't give a shit.
The
And
fucking-
like if you were an athlete, I watched something on Simone Biles, the crazy
goat.
gymnast. She's like, 23, which is like 5 years older than you're supposed to be an Olympic gymnast. And she's going insane. Anyway, like imagine being her and like having your second Olympics canceled. That would suck. So
Yeah.
I feel for him. Yeah, everyone go get COVID over in Tokyo. Come on back. We got vaccines. It's okay.
I'll tell you though, I used to watch Michael Phelps, just the hype. I just wanted to see him win gold medals. So I used to check out the swimming. I mean, dude, I just want to break the record. Big old dumb head.
No, I know you're. All right. Ray,
Oh, and
quickly, I
women's
figured
beach
since we're in
volleyball.
the international department, quickly just give us the update. Euro 2020. It says here, knockout spots decided group finals. So just give us a quick thought on that.
The big group was Group F, which
Unfortunately, though, we are running a little bit late. We
Motherfuckers.
have to get to this sponsor. Back to Basics is the one you want to go to for all your CBD needs. Our resident CBD user, Bill, has no shoulder. Give us a quick update on that shoulder and how Back to Basics CBDs have helped you through those lonely, painful nights.
You want a real update on my shoulder? I'll get to
Nope.
that later. But
Nope. I
but
would just
yeah,
like you to be a part of the read.
good,
Fake it.
good for some pain. I use it all the time. That's what it is. I mean, I have to.
Excellent take. Back to Basics is what you want to go to. BackToBasicsLLC.com. That's BAK, the number 2, BasicsLLC.com. Put your order in today and you get a free sample. With every order you place, you get a free sample. They got a number of products that you want to get yourself into. So all natural remedies for sleep, for aches, for pains, anything you want. If you haven't tried CBD, get yourself a free sample. Give it a shot. If you know about it, give old Dr. Tom over at Back to Basics a shot. They are doing excellent things. BackToBasicsLLC.com. Okay. Sorry, Ray, we couldn't get to soccer there. Generally, leave it for the end of the show to let you ramble on about it, but we have to get to a couple more things. Stephon Gilmore is still holding out. Let me give you a couple pieces on this. There's talk that this is not as a big a deal as people are starting to make it out to be. And I want to ask you if you believe it, but I want to give you 2 motivations, one from the Gilmore camp, one from the Patriots camp. Here's the motivation from Gilmore that he'll be back and playing for the Patriots. This is per Phil Perry of NBC Boston. If he skips training camp, he gets fined $50,000 a day. He's already been fined $93,000 and change for missing minicamp. If he misses preseason games, he's fined $464,000 per preseason game. If he doesn't make it to training camp, he has potentially to not accrue a season. They won't let him accrue this season coming up to be played, which means a lot for younger players. But in his position, it means a lot on the back end in terms of retirement. It means if he plays 13 seasons, but they don't count this one, he only gets 12, so only gets X percentage of his retirement money when he retires.
So with that, you can show up. You got to play 6 games. It might be 7 now with the extra game thrown in, but that's how you accrue your season.
Not if you don't throw up the training camp. It's a clause in the CBA that if you don't show up to training camp, that
Logan Mankins never did. Like he sat. I think he fucking sat out the whole until what, week 10.
I'm only telling you what Phil Perry told me, and per the CBA.
No,
again, we talked about this in the text message. Blame the source. Okay,
blame the source. Okay, Phil Perry says if you don't show up to training camp, there's a clause that they can technically not choose to accrue that season if you hold out in that fashion. Let me give you the other side of the camp. From the Celtics standpoint, we haven't really touched on this, but Gilmore is set to be paid $7 million this year, but his cap hits $16 million. So if you're in line for, say, call it a 3-year, $50 million, $30 million guaranteed for Gilmore, you're going to knock that cap hit down a little bit. As we all know, the Patriots like to do that to give themselves a little more flexibility. So quickly, your thoughts on the Gilmore situation as training camp comes up here. And when does it start? A couple weeks?
Like a month, end of July.
Yeah, it's end of July. He'll show up. I think he'll show up. I think a deal will get worked in. Patriots are just dragging their feet right now. I bet both camps just want like one thing or another, dot the I's, cross the T's kind of thing. So you'll see Gilmore, if not the first week, definitely by the second week of training camp, he'll be there.
He flew up from Charlotte this weekend too. He's actually in town now. So, I mean, and 3 for 50 with 30 guaranteed. I mean, Darius Slay signed that in his, I think it kicks in this year in his age 31 season. Are you taking Darius Slay for that or Stephon Gilmore? Because I'm taking Stephon Gilmore all day. So that, I mean, it seems like, front load the contract, make that dummy year, lower the cap hit this year. I mean, you still got the space. You got plenty of space. You're $18 million under the salary cap right now. You got plenty of space. I don't think Jones is signed, so that's probably going to eat up. I forget what it is. Is there $6 million, something like that?
5.5, 5 and change, or whatever.
Still, you still got enough money to sign him.
You got plenty enough money to sign him and leave room for the, your patented, end of training camp cuts and off season move, mid season moves they do. So I mean, you probably want around 10 million. So yeah, you can lower it, but you can afford it if you really fucking want to.
I don't think they want to. I think that's the point. I think that the Patriots have a track record from a business standpoint of not always spending directly to the cap, and they handed out, as we've noted many times, $250 million in guaranteed money this year. So they've spent plenty. I'm sure if they could, manipulate that cap, they will with Gilmore. And I think everybody wants to come to a conclusion. I think reports are Gilmore wants to be here. He wants to be a Patriot. He wants to play here, and I think Belichick only wanted to trade him because he couldn't get him at his cost. I'm sure he understands what kind of player Gilmore is, and Bill Belichick's bad boy track record is kind of fucking out the window when you got a Devin McCourty, Dante Hightower, these big money mid to young 30-year-olds still on the roster. I fully expect Gilmore to be back as well. We lost Bill. There he is. This is a fun one.
I like that nice little who done it. Who is it?
You've been following this. Tom Brady went on Jesus Christ. What was it?
The shop. Or
the barber shop.
The shop.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a shop.
And he motherfucked some quarterback in the NFL when asked specifically about the teams that passed on him.
I got two.
His rendition was
I got one.
When talking to that team, you're going to stick with this motherfucker. And then went on to win a Super Bowl and jam it down everybody's throats. I have two thoughts on this. Obviously, who's he talking about? But also, three thoughts. Number one, Belichick and the Patriots kind of had it. They kind of had it with Brady that his market wasn't going to be as robust as it was. And Tom Brady did not want to go to the fucking Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No,
he won the Super Bowl anyway. So fucking A, Belichick. Could you just given this guy $30 million and loosen the fucking strings a little bit? It's just, it sucks from all angles, but it's so fascinating that Brady's motherfucking guy's now on national television. Who was it, Bill?
Trubisky.
Yep.
I think the rumor, Dan Patrick had it, I believe. And I think Jay Stu had it early March. Like that rumor was floating around. It came down to Tampa and Chicago, and they chose Mitchell Trubisky. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a good option there because he wanted to also play for his
boyhood
team. So that's another one. They had fallen out. I mean, you heard it. Brady made Bill trade fucking Garoppolo and all that power struggle. He supposedly locked him out of TB12 and wouldn't let him rehab there and shit like that. So I mean,
sorry to interrupt you. I pulled I knocked Garoppolo out of it because I think Tom Brady did all those things to Garoppolo because he saw him as a threat. And I think this, you got to take whatever word Brady was talking about. I think he did not respect this guy as a quarterback in the NFL. So Trubisky is a good one. Are you with Trubisky, Ray?
Oh yeah, that's who I think it is.
Mine's Goff. I think they wanted LA. I think they wanted LA bad.
Well, the Chargers were in.
Well, when you say they, you mean Giselle wanted LA, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget the Chargers too, because that was another team, and they ended up they went the Herbert route. But the Chargers.
Did they have Tyrod Taylor at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be another good one. Like, think about where Brady wanted to go and the quarterback's in place. I don't think it's Jimmy because I think the relationship probably gets in the way. It wasn't New Orleans because Drew Brees, he's not going to do that to Drew. So, yeah, it's either Trubisky, who everybody knows is trash, or I think they desperately want to get to the West Coast. Now?
See, there was the West Coast was weird because at one point, they squashed that rumor. Someone squashed that they didn't want to go to the West Coast because they wanted to stay closer to his son in New York or kind of on the East Coast. So, I mean, I think it has to be Trubisky. It has to be. That rumor was real. It came Tampa and Chicago. And at the time, it's like, man, I would have went to Chicago. You have the better defense. They underachieved. Obviously, they have no quarterbacks there. But you put Brady on that team, I guarantee the Chicago Bears would have won that Super Bowl. Even Allen Robinson, they had some like David Montgomery's there.
It doesn't matter. He would have recruited whatever he wanted. Gronk would have done to Chicago, wherever Brady went. Gronk was going, and he would have got any player that he wanted if they had enough cap room. That's the kind of pull he had around the league.
Well, Chicago had 7 tight ends on their active roster every week, so I don't think they could have fucking made a room for Gronk.
I'm sure they could
have. If they would have been smart enough. The Bears front office has fucked up a lot of shit. I'm just going with the Giselle motivation. Get me out of this cold weather. Get me out of this cold weather, Tom. Lot to get to still. Let's quickly move on. Carl Nassib came out from the Las Vegas Raiders, defensive lineman, as the first openly active gay player in the NFL. Is it a sign that we've come a certain amount of way or a long way, that it's not that, like, it's a story, but Michael Sam was a bigger story. He came out after he was out of the league.
No, he
He was
didn't.
not
He came out in
active,
the
though. No, he came out
He
in
came out
college.
college. He was drafted. He was the first gay man drafted in the NFL.
Didn't he not make the team?
No,
Like, didn't he not play?
They
Yeah,
cut
he
him
cut
in training. He never played an NFL game.
Why is it? Well, then why is Carl Nassib getting credited for the first active NFL player?
Because he's
played
actually
it- he's played
active.
4
Okay, so
seasons, 6
Michael
seasons.
Sam didn't make a team.
Well,
Right. No, he never made. He got cut. He was a 7th
Well,
round
there
draft
you
pick.
go, Ray. I don't know if you followed words, bottom of the totem pole.
You're asking me if I follow words?
active versus non-active. Either way, my point is, it's a good story. I think it's a positive story. He's got the best-selling jersey in the NFL.
Past 2 days.
With the, I always screw this up,
Fanatics.
LGBTQ. I think I nailed that.
T.
Community right behind
Got the
T.
T.
Sorry. With that, Ray's trying to think of it in the back. of his head.
LGBT.
Q.
There's no Q in there.
Yes, there is.
Queer. That's not a
Excuse me?
beep.
That's not a
beep. So anyway, whatever. He's got the best-selling jerseys in the last two days.
Look at him
in
looking
the
up.
NFL.
It's dumb as shit.
He's so stupid. He's time traveling.
What the hell's
Oh,
the
it is?
I?
There's
It's
a plus.
LGBTQI.
I thought it was a plus.
And
I
there's a
don't know.
plus.
Can we not get into this? We're gonna get in trouble. My point is the early, like most players in the NFL are in their early 20s. They've grown up in a different era. They've grown up in a world where this is more accepted than it was in the past. I just look at it as I don't know, good. I hope you don't suck. I hope you're good.
He's not awesome. No, I mean he's all right. I think
That wasn't a joke, Ray.
It wasn't a joke. I think he had. Yeah. Never mind.
Don't. I mean, this is actually my actual thought about this. Can those are those jokes? And I'm sure those jokes are made in the locker with him. Like, he has to be cool.
We've all played sports.
Like, you're gonna get we rib on banging your mom like 4 times a show. Like,
Exactly.
You have to be able to get like ribbed for it just to be
How much
part
is- how
of
many-
that community, or it's gonna feel weird and
How many times does Bill say, suck my dick, bitch? Like, come on.
Tits.
Did. Sorry. I apologize.
Anyway, good for Carl Nassib. Hopefully, just what do they do? What do they say now? Normalize it. Hopefully, it just doesn't. It's just no longer a thing. That's the way I feel about it, and everyone can just move on. Lightning. We're gonna move on to the NHL, then NCAA, then golf, and we have to be done in 3 minutes. Lightning demolish the Islanders 8-0. They go up 3-2. Barzal gets ejected for what I thought was a bullshit call.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Two Islanders, man. That's 8-0. 8 fucking nothing.
Woof.
Wow.
Throwing the white flag at one point. Just fucking call it a day and see you. Let's go to game 7.
When
Or
did they
game
pull?
6,
Did they
rather.
pull Varlam off?
Yeah.
They had to have. I
Yeah.
didn't see when.
Second period, right?
I mean, the Lightning, when they impose their will, they're just
It was 3-0 after the first, right?
Kucherov has 22 points in 16 games and 0 goals.
that's not good. Stamkos had a hat trick in the first period, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, they haven't played all season. They're fucking rounding into form, and they're about to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think it's going 7. I think Islanders rebound. They're too tough not to.
Especially in New York. Of course.
Oh, did you hear what Wagner said on the radio today? They had to switch hotels from game 3 and 4 because they pulled the fire alarms like 6 or 7 times a night.
Yep.
I respect them. I'm
Home
not
ice
even mad at
advantage.
it.
That's home ice advantage. That's what
Fucking
happens.
bricks, but
Patriots fans do it all the time during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
yeah, got to do it. Okay, 2 last thoughts here. The NCAA, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of NCAA athletes, essentially giving them more options to get paid. I didn't read the whole court ruling because I'm not that smart, but the players won. So they have an ability to get paid. They also have an ability to further challenge these fascist NCAA fuckers in court. The Supreme Court ruled this 9-0. Here's the quote from Justice Kavanaugh. The NCAA is not above the law. The NCAA couches its arguments for not paying student athletes in cautious labels. That's not right. But the labels cannot disguise the reality. The NCAA's business model would be flatly illegal in almost any other industry in America. No shit.
Good. They make billions and billions, and I don't want to hear the excuse of a free education is worth it. No, the billions and billions of dollars. Think of SEC schools, the best
The
division. in all
gyms
of
they
college.
have.
Look at
The
Oregon.
fucking
Look at
gyms.
look at Oregon, sponsored by Nike, and the billion-dollar fucking stadiums, and it's just like, and these guys make nothing. And
Half these kids eat ramen noodles because they can't afford it because they come from inner cities and they're getting recruited there. Yeah, you get a free meal, but you can't afford to fucking eat. It's like, fucking, hey, this is bullshit.
Yeah, and you wonder why, and I know there's a lot of shitbags, but you wonder why people are fucking robbing and stealing shit to eat.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids aren't coming from fucking.
And
like
this
you
isn't
said,
even
right?
a ruling to say that the schools have to share that money. This is just saying that they can't get in trouble for making money on their own name, which seems pretty fucking obvious in the land of America, free and whatever. Like, you're making money on my name. I can't make money on my name. Are you kidding me? You're selling my jersey with my number on it, and I can't sell my jersey with my number on it?
Well, it's
What
like
the
EA Sports.
fuck?
That got EA
I
Sports
can't,
got
like, go
sued.
get tattooed. Like, are you kidding me? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
There was like a big petition when EA Sports had the NCAA football, and players were like, "That's my likeness. That's my number. That's me. And why can't I make money? You guys are selling this for $60 a fucking piece. I can't make money off this. That's bullshit. Like, you are making like a pretend it's Bill. We got a fucking Bill in the video game, but yet you can't make any fucking money off that. That's just not right. NCAA is a fucking highway robbery. It's the biggest crook organization in the fucking world.
Other than FIBA, or FIFA.
FIFA.
Yeah, they are the biggest
I
crooks in the world.
didn't know if I could talk about soccer because we already had a soccer minute.
Only when we're talking about corruption.
Okay.
Speaking of corruption, the U.S. Open, something called John Rahm won. He's Spanish. Anybody watch this?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Welcome to this has been the Simple Mind Sports Show, Wednesday edition, June 23rd. We'll see you on Thursday for our interview with Nicholas
Panatris.
Panatrias.
No, that's
Panaritas.
Yeah, he's Greek.
Panaritas.
Remember, he's Greek.
Yeah, but I can't do a Greek accent. Okay, we'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
OKC has pick number 6.
Oh, where's Houston? Oh.
They just have the.